So today we are going to be taking a look at the newly released Trick or Treat Studios official Halloween Ends mask. Let's go. What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? AJ Good here at the House of Masks, where we unbox and review cool stuff almost every single day, and this chair is squeaking and pissing me off.
Pissing me off?
Anyways, in today's video, we finally received our copy of the Trick or Treat Studios official Halloween Ends mask. So clearly, in today's video, we're going to be unboxing and reviewing that piece. Now, before we get on into the package, obviously, it's 2022. We should all be familiar with the Trick or Treat Studios situation, but just in case there are people out there that still feel like bitching about Trick or Treat Studios masks, let's go ahead and set the record straight. We are all collectively, as we watch this video, going to be extremely realistic about what we are about to look at. And what we are about to look at is a $69 mass-produced Michael Myers mask from a film that's not even out yet. You guys can complain about Trick or Treat Studios for a number of things, everything from how Zefro represents himself with that company to the fact that they've never been able to do a pre-order correctly. But please do not bitch about the quality of these masks for the price. $69 is getting us what I assume is yet another screen-used mold piece. Now, obviously, there are going to be tons of different masters, but what we are getting is pretty much the closest thing that we will ever get to an actual Halloween Ends mask. Are the finishes great? No, usually they're not. Specifically, the paint jobs. I went to a Spirit Halloween yesterday and saw 3 different Halloween 2018 masks with 3 different finishes. Some of them looked okay, some of them looked terrible. That's just the way that it goes. It's a mass-produced mask company selling mass-produced masks for a mass-produced price. Regardless, we are getting something that is going to be the closest sculpturally that we will ever get. If you or a loved one are still complaining about the finishing on a Trick or Treat Studios mask in 2022, I suggest you visit a hospital immediately because something's wrong with your brain. Now, with that out of the way, let's go ahead and jump on into the package. Now, this package comes to us from Collectors Row. You guys can try to go get one over on their website, but there's probably a pretty good chance that they're sold out by now. However, it doesn't hurt to check. As I mentioned, it was $69 shipped.
Nice.
Nice. Nice.
Nice.
Nice. And I got it in 2 or 3 days. I can't remember, but it got here really quickly. I will say I'm not stoked about the fact that they sent it in a little envelope because obviously the mask is going to come like this, all folded and bent up. Hopefully there are no semi-permanent creases. I think obviously anything could be fixable when it comes to that, but it's still just aggravating to not ship that in a box. That would be $1 or $2 more, especially when we are paying for shipping. Regardless, here we have it in the bag. I'll try to kind of maybe get it back into shape a little bit there without looking at it too much because I want to give you guys the first look. So here we go. Boop. All right, how's it look? I'm doing my best not to look in the flipped screen because I don't want to see it at all until I bring it back here and look at it for myself. But yeah, what do you guys think? Does it look okay? Is it the worst copy ever? I will say, yeah, right off the bat, I am incredibly displeased with the hair, but I'll tell you guys why that is here shortly. First, I want to flip this thing around and look for myself. Now, from this side, it does not look like it's a bad copy by any means. Everything looks pretty good. You know, the paint job is nice.
Nice. Nice.
I don't see any crazy defects with the pool, nothing like that. Everything looks okay. I will say right off the bat, I am noticing a lot of strands, like actual pieces of cotton string in this mold effect. And I was very curious already to see this mold effect in person because obviously it's pretty easy to lose a lot of textural details in a catalog photo. And every single copy that we see is going to be slightly different anyway. So I was definitely curious to see that in person for myself and see exactly how my copy looked. But really, it doesn't look too bad for it being the oldest trick in the book, or the moldest trick in the book. just cotton stretched across the mask with some latex. It's not too bad. I will say those strings are pretty annoying, so a lot of it will probably have to be redone to the point that there are no strings in there. But for a stock copy, it looks pretty good. I do like that they've opened the mouth up on this copy. I know I saw some people like Jimmy Champagne talking about the trailers that came out, and there's a very specific scene where you can see Michael's mask kind of open up and you can see the mouth has a slit, and he said that he was pretty sure that wasn't Michael Myers because he didn't think that Michael Myers' mask had a slit in it. But Michael's mask has pretty much always had a slit in it in this timeline specifically. The castle stretch from 1978 is a pretty well-known thing amongst mask collectors and Michael Myers fans alike, and you can clearly tell that the mask definitely had a slit in it. And I will say that they hid that pretty well in Halloween 2018 and Halloween Kills, and I think that the reason that it was hidden so well wasn't even really on purpose. I think that due to the fact that both of those masks were sculpted on a life cast of James Jude Courtney, that it fit him so well that there was no abnormal stretching of the mask. Back in 1978, when Nick Castle's big goofy-headed ass was wearing that mask, it was just a mask off of the shelves. And really, it was a children's mask, to be honest. So he was stretching this mask over his face, and Nick has a very long face, so for this mask to fit him properly, you could see a lot more of the slit in the mouth. But they've obviously brought it back in full force here, and I think that's just because the mask is in such poor condition in the film that they really want to show that everywhere that can be rotting and deteriorating is doing so. We see a lot more rot around the base of the mask, obviously the burns and the mold, but we definitely see a lot of it around the eyes and the mouth specifically. And I think that that's a cool detail to throw out there. But I can feel us veering way off topic with that conversation. Let's get back to the Trick or Treat Studios official Michael Myers Halloween Ends mask. And yeah, this is pretty much exactly what I expected. You know, I was curious about the mold effect. Seeing that in person now, I'm not too disappointed in it. I just wish that there were a little less actual strings. Here, I'll try to show you guys some of what I'm talking about. If we can get this camera to focus, you'll just see a lot of like actual strings hidden up in there in the cotton. Again, I can't be too upset about that because I am having this thing rehauled just as I did with my 2018 and my Halloween Kills anyways. I've already talked to RimZap about it. That will be in the forefront, and then we will be re-unboxing and re-reviewing this mask after it's been rehauled. Definitely can't wait for that. That is going to be super cool. I love Remy's work. I just feel like he is the absolute man. And there are plenty of people out there doing amazing conversions these days, but I've just got this relationship with RimZap, so maybe in the future I'll branch out and get other pieces from other artists. But for right now, Remy is my go-to guy, so I definitely can't wait to see that done. And I feel like the introduction of mold was a very, very cool thing. It is a small, subtle change from the Halloween Kills mask, but it's just that much cooler. It feels that much realer. Now, I will say, as unimpressed as I was with the movie Halloween Kills, and as unenthusiastic and unexcited as I am for Halloween Ends, this is still my favorite version of Michael Myers to date. This new trilogy, new timeline, whatever you want to call it, this James Jude Courtney portrayal of Michael Myers is the absolute best, and that is a lot because up until this point, I was always a die-hard Dick fan. I loved Dick. No, I'm just kidding. I do still love Dick Warlock's portrayal, and I've got to say, when it comes down to just the portrayal of Michael Myers, I probably always side with Dick Warlock, but between the aesthetic and the actions of Michael Myers in this new timeline, it is just a captivating new character. With that being said, I think that they still hit the nail on the head with the Ends mask, and I think that the addition of the mold and the subtle little changes and not swaying too far from Kills is a great way to go. And yes, we all knew that there were going to be lots of jizz jokes whenever we saw this mask leak. We all saw it coming. But once we can get past being 12-year-olds on the internet and see past the bukkake stuff, I think that it's a fantastic addition. I think that it adds that much more to this already disturbing character. The mask is already 40-something years old and starting to deteriorate on its own, but now it's being worn again by Michael Myers through all sorts of things. Fires.
Oh, fire! Yeah, fire! Fire! Fire!
Water damage. Now it's in the sewers where it's all gross and grungy. Mold just makes sense, and trust me, I left a mask outside for a year as an experiment, and those things definitely grow mold. And that was a vinyl mask, meaning that it was even less porous, less places for the mold to cling to and grow on, and also vinyl's a lot stronger than latex. It doesn't rot. So for mold to grow as heavily as it did on that mask, and it was only outside for a year, it only makes sense that this mask with its timeline is definitely definitely going to have some mold. And I really like and appreciate the way that they worked that into this design. Obviously on the face, it is only over on the burned side and it's not super heavy. We see it in some of the hair, mostly along the hairline and on the hairline on this side as well. And then my favorite spot, the bullet hole. This has to make you wonder what Michael Myers' face looks like inside of that mask. Now, obviously we have seen little bits and pieces in these teasers and trailers of Michael Myers' left hand, the one that he got shot in Halloween 2018. And obviously we all know that he lost his fingers, but this thing looks gross in these new trailers. There is most certainly some infection going on right there, and with mold growing through the bullet hole on his mask, it just really makes me want to know what's going on underneath the mask. So that is probably my favorite detail, mold growing through and kind of closing up the bullet hole from Laurie in 2018 on the Halloween Ends mask. Now, real quick, I do want to touch on the hair. I have no idea why they did this, and I have no idea if every copy is like this, but this hair is stuck in place. I literally cannot make this hair move around on its own. There are no strands. It is all matted down and seems to be glued in place. And that is probably my biggest complaint about this piece. I don't know why they did that. I don't really think that he looks like that in these trailers, and maybe I'm wrong. Obviously, we can only see so much of Michael in those trailers, but I'm pretty sure that the hair is not like that. And even if it is, man, give me the ability to mess with this hair, because now all of the hair is going to have to be removed and replaced during the rehaul process, and that's just a big pain in the ass. So yeah, all in all, I got exactly what I paid for here. I got exactly what I expected, and I don't have any real complaints with this mask. It's going to be rehauled anyways, and I spent $70. So, some final thoughts for anybody that wants to buy one of these. Yes, they are bigger than the Halloween Kills mask. I know that that was a big deal, that those things were so small, but they have definitely made this one larger. I would say that if you have a 24, 25, maybe even a 26-inch head, this thing is still going to fit you pretty decent, and most certainly better than the Halloween Kills mask that Trick or Treat put out when Halloween Kills came out. Secondly, they look to be finished a lot better than the Halloween Kills mask, so if you aren't going to have yours rehauled, if you would like to keep your copy stock, then you're already going to be off to a better start than what we had with the Halloween Kills finishes. Third, it's $70, man. Again, I can't stress this enough. You are getting what you paid for. And that's that. I'm happy with this score, happy to have it in my collection. It gets me this much more excited for a movie that I'm really kind of not that excited for anyways. Clearly I'm going to go see it, and I am excited to go see it, but my hopes are not high. At least we have a cool looking Michael Myers. So yeah, I'm going to go ahead and end this video now the same way that I end all of the unboxings and reviews on this channel, with some nice up close shots of this piece to let you guys see all of the detail. So until next time, this has been AJ Good here at the House of Masks, telling you to say no to drugs and alcohol, and yes to mold, and we'll see you guys in the next one.